The Gathering Storm, A World on the Brink, written by Bill McKibben. Imagine a world shrouded in darkness. The familiar hum of electricity, gone. Streets, once illuminated, now navigate by the faint glow of flashlights. Homes, once havens of comfort, grow cold as heating systems fail. This is not a scene from a dystopian novel, it's a stark possibility looming on our horizon, the specter of a global energy collapse. Our world thrives on energy. It fuels our homes, powers our industries, and connects us across continents. Yet, this lifeline is fragile, strained by decades of unsustainable practices and threatened by a confluence of converging crises. We stand at a precipice, facing the harsh reality that our current energy infrastructure is ill-equipped to meet the growing demands of a changing world. From the sprawling metropolises of the developed world to the remotest villages in emerging economies, the signs are ominous. Rolling blackouts, once a rarity, are becoming increasingly commonplace. The cost of energy, once predictable, is soaring to new heights, straining household budgets and threatening economic stability. The specter of an energy collapse is not a distant threat, it is a clear and present danger. The question is not if it will happen, but when and how prepared we will be to face the cascading consequences. The time for complacency is long gone. The time for action is now. The crumbling foundation: fossil fuels, infrastructure, and geopolitics. The world's energy system is a complex tapestry woven from three interconnected strands: fossil fuels, aging infrastructure, and geopolitical tensions. Each strand is fraying, threatening to unravel the entire system and plunge us into darkness. Our reliance on fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gas, has brought us unprecedented prosperity, but at a steep environmental and geopolitical cost. Climate change, driven by the relentless burning of these finite resources, is unleashing havoc across the globe. Extreme weather events, from devastating hurricanes to prolonged droughts, are becoming more frequent and intense, disrupting energy production and distribution networks. The infrastructure that delivers energy to our homes and businesses is crumbling under the weight of neglect and underinvestment. Power grids, pipelines, and refineries, many built decades ago, are operating beyond their intended lifespan, vulnerable to failures and increasingly unable to cope with the demands of a modern, interconnected world. Adding fuel to the fire are escalating geopolitical tensions. Conflicts over dwindling resources, coupled with rising nationalism and protectionism, threaten to disrupt global energy supply chains. The weaponization of energy, as seen in recent geopolitical conflicts, has exposed the fragility of our interconnected world and the potential for energy to become a tool of coercion and conflict. Life in the shadows: the personal cost of energy collapse. The consequences of a global energy collapse extend far beyond the inconvenience of a temporary blackout. It represents a fundamental disruption to the fabric of our daily lives, impacting every facet of our existence, from the food we eat to the jobs we hold. Imagine a world without reliable electricity. Hospitals struggle to function, their life-saving equipment rendered useless. Schools and businesses shut down, crippling education and commerce. Communication networks falter, isolating communities and hindering emergency response efforts. The cost of living would skyrocket as energy prices soar, pushing basic necessities like food, water, and transportation out of reach for many. Economic inequality would deepen, exacerbating social unrest and potentially leading to widespread civil unrest. In a world grappling with energy scarcity, access to food and water becomes increasingly precarious. Supply chains crumble, grocery store shelves empty, and agricultural production plummets. Water shortages, already a pressing concern in many parts of the world, intensify as energy-intensive pumping and treatment systems fail. Harbingers of disruption: when the grid falters. The warning signs of an impending energy crisis are no longer subtle whispers, they are blaring sirens echoing across the globe. From the crippling blackouts that have plunged entire nations into darkness, to the escalating energy prices that strain household budgets, the evidence is undeniable. In recent years, extreme weather events fueled by climate change have wreaked havoc on energy infrastructure worldwide. In 2021, a historic winter storm in Texas crippled the state's power grid, leaving millions without electricity for days in freezing temperatures. The devastation served as a stark reminder of the vulnerability of centralized energy systems to extreme weather events. Similarly, Europe's energy crisis, triggered by a confluence of factors including soaring natural gas prices, dwindling domestic production, and geopolitical tensions has exposed the fragility of the continent's energy security. As winter approaches, fears of energy rationing and blackouts loom large, highlighting the precariousness of relying on a single source for energy. These events are not isolated incidents, they are harbingers of a future where energy disruptions become increasingly commonplace. The convergence of climate change, aging infrastructure, and geopolitical instability has created a perfect storm that threatens to overwhelm our current energy paradigm.